everybody. So tonight you're going to hear from three awesome speakers, and tonight the topics are all very techy. So we've got Donna Brown here, soon to be Brown, delivering outsourcing business. And Donna is the work from home queen, and she has successfully worked in her PJs for the last 7 years. And I know this because Donna and I actually also co-own a ninja business. Chicks here, yeah. And she's an author of the Ninja Couch Marketing book, which we will be giving away as a door prize tonight. So there's 4 door prizes. Donna specialises in helping others do the same through various platforms, including her VA business, The Office Buddy. So today she will share the story of Alex and Rupert.
Thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about outsourcing. And I just wanted to quickly go, obviously we just did a little intro about each other, but just to talk a little bit extra about who I am. I do call myself the work from home queen, and I've been running my VA business for 7 years, and I've been doing it just for the sake of literally wanting to work from home. And when I eventually do have children, my whole goal was for the reason so I could work from home around kids. I do have clients all over the country, and I'm a published author, and I've done lots of projects and I do lots of speaking opportunities just to teach people about the fact that there's so much technology out there, and there are ways you can outsource certain components of your business. You don't have to do it all, and there is a way to be smarter, make more money from the couch. I've been doing it for a long time. We just had a wood fire heater installed at my new house, and I literally sat on the recliner in front of the fire heater with my laptop on my lap the whole day, and in my trackies, and then when 4:30 came around, I thought, oh, I better get to this event. I do literally sit around in my casual clothes all day, unless Natasha makes me leave the house. So, what I want to ask you all is, what does all those tiny little jobs you have to do in your business, all the admin, what does it mean to you? The things that popped up in my head were time wasting. They're important, but you feel like you're wasting your time, that you should be doing bigger and better things, that you're foolish for doing it possibly. Why am I doing this? Surely I should be doing other things in my business, like making the sales, meeting new people. If they're annoying, you know, like bookkeeping for a lot of people is annoying. It's for me, I pay someone to do it. Trivial. So these are all thoughts that pop up into my head when I think about all the admin in my business that I don't want to do. And I'm sure there are others that a lot of you are feeling the exact same way as well. Feel free to call out what other feelings do people have when you think about all the emails you're replying to, or sending out letters, or maintaining your website, every time you do a website update, or whatever it might be. Messy, you know, and you're just frustrated possibly because you don't know the technology, or you don't know how to do it, and you're just getting irritated, and then you get moody and possibly shitty, and then you want to go and do something else, and you're not in the frame of mind for business, and you just give up, or for me, you throw your pen across the room and go and walk the dog, or whatever it might be. So this is what I feel like people feel when they go.
I've got an in-out basket which is empty, which, you know, sounds like it's very good when I'm organised, and then I've got a too-hard basket.
And then one just seems to be on this side of the desk. Or they only know clip art or publisher, and the downloaded pictures, and you get it and you think, looks like kind of like a high school kid made it, or maybe a primary school kid made it. He gets to email clients. He has a massive pile of business cards on his desk like this because of all the networking, because he knows networking is important for business. That's why he does it. But they're just sitting in a pile on his desk. And then eventually when he decides to add them to his database or contact them, people are like, who are you? Who are you? I don't remember. Where did we meet? It's too late. Too much time has passed. He loves his job, don't get me wrong. He has no time. He doesn't have time really to properly network. He has no time to connect with people online. He has no time to actually make sales. And he's very inefficient. He has no time to be efficient. He's one of those people, I always say to new business owners, if you seem to be super busy and you're rushing and you're replying to emails and you're doing so much, but nothing seems to be coming at the end of the week, what are you actually doing? Are you just fluffing? Or you're actually doing important stuff? So it's a common thing that I always ask people when we talk about it in one of the courses that we run, because I feel like that people fill their days to be busy, so they feel like they're doing something because they're at home and they're running their own business, and they think I should be busy because I've quit my job, or I'm only working part-time and my husband or my wife's out full-time, so I better do something. But at the end of the week, they've got nothing to show for it at the end of the month. Sorry. Meet Alex. So Alex concentrates on sales. He concentrates on building relationships. He documents his intellectual property, which for those of you that were here last month, I know Nat talked a lot about it, and his products and his services, and he has many strong joint ventures. This is what he concentrates on. And he obviously delivers whatever he sells. So if he's doing a coaching program and he signs someone up, he's delivering that as well. This is what he concentrates his entire weeks on. Networking, relationship building, selling, doing strong connections with his joint ventures so the referrals keep coming in. And how come he can do this? Because he embraces outsourcing. He gets third parties to complete in-house work. I thought for a second it said housework, and I was like, really? I suppose you could do that if you want. He gets someone to do their bookkeeping for him. He gets someone to look after his website and his graphic work, his logo, and every time he wants to do a nice flyer, or if he's doing an event and he wants a poster, whatever it might be. He gets someone else to look after his Facebook page and his LinkedIn profile. Doesn't mean he can't log in and communicate with people, but the daily constant interacting of it, which I'm sure Natasha will talk about later, he gets someone else to take care of most of it, his PR. The general admin of adding people to his database and sending out welcome emails or thank you information pack, whatever his administration is, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do his data entry, he doesn't do his customer service, he doesn't do any of it. He just concentrates on making sales and delivering a really good service to his clients. Because he's not getting distracted with everything else. He saves money because it's done right the first time. How many people have done something themselves, stuffed it up, try it again, go onto Google or YouTube, figure out how to do it right, still can't figure it out, and then you end up paying someone to do it. You think, well, I've just wasted all this time and my own money trying to do it myself. He makes more money because he actually has time for sales. He's less stressed because he's not trying to do everything. And he has more time with his family because he's working less hours, which is, everyone says that they want to work from home for their family. I disagree. I think it's for family, and it's also because you want to make good money. Like, if you're not prepared to admit it, I am. So, what I'm talking about here are virtual assistants. So, like Emily said just earlier, highly skilled virtual professionals, they're trained in the specific areas that you're looking for to help you with your core business. So they offer a whole gamut of services. We're not talking just about admin. I know it's called virtual assistant, and the word assistant has a very high feeling of PA or just a secretary. It's a little bit more than that. There are virtual assistants that specialise in PR or social media. There are virtual assistants out there that specialise in tender writing. So there's a whole gamut of services they can offer, and every one of them have their own speciality. And there are some that are just project managers, so they have underneath them their contacts for all the various elements of your business, and they can manage everyone for you, so you don't have to have 10 different VAs working for you. Beauty about working with VAs, you don't pay them super. You don't have to pay them annual leave. There's no sick leave, there's no office space or computers, there's no work cover costs. A lot of people forget about that when you hire employees, as work cover is an expense you have to pay. You simply pay for the work completed. So it's actually a really affordable way for you to alleviate some of the pressure off your back and get on doing what you wanted to do, whether it is coaching, whether it is, being a massage therapist, whether it is being a builder. Why would you be doing your invoices if you can get someone else to do it and you're on the road getting your building jobs? So, here's the big question. Offshore versus local. I'm sure some of you have been thinking about this. I did a little test this weekend, or this past couple of days. Some of you may or may not know, there's this website called Fiverr where you can apply to get certain jobs done for $5. Usually not by Australians, anyone else across overseas. And I'm running an expo in October about outsourcing. And I thought I'll get a flyer created for it because we're going to send the flyer out to be advertised. And I seriously wish I printed it for you. And I gave them my logo and I gave them lots of specific information. Here is the details, here's the date, this is the feel I want. If you saw what came back because of possibly misinterpretation of communication, possibly they didn't really care and it just was $5 a job, so how much effort they're going to actually put into the flyer. There were sparkles all over it, it was multicoloured rainbow, there was a big mango like this in silhouette in front of it. It just looked weird, it looked like a 5-year-old had created it. And I just think this is a perfect example of how outsourcing offshore can sometimes not work to your benefit. You think it's cheaper, but it's not always cheaper. Now I just wasted that $5. I know it was only $5, but I wasted the $5 when I could have gone to my graphic designer in Bill Park, Vanessa, who's awesome, and she would have done a really cool job for me. So typically, when you're working with an Aussie VA, you don't have language barriers, which you can have overseas. There's no time difference issues. Usually they're more reliable because they have a vested interest in your business. Your success determines their success. The busier you are, the more you're going to use them, the more money you're making, and the more money they're making. So they want you to succeed. When you hire a VA overseas, often you're hiring them from a massive agency, and so they're just an employee of a massive agency, so they don't really care how good you are, because if you leave, the next job just fills your gap. I just want you to be aware of that if you ever decide to use an offshore VA. They usually do things right the first time. If they don't know how to do something, they can just call you. 20-second call, figure it out, done. It's not these time differences and other issues. And I'm a big believer of keeping jobs local. So my biggest tip to you is don't be a jack of all trades. You're a master of your niche and your industry. This is what you should be doing. If you're a business coach, why are you doing bookkeeping? If you're a builder, why are you sitting on Facebook all day? I'm not saying sitting on Facebook, it's just you're in my line of life. Any questions? So I run a VA business, so if you have questions that you don't think of at the moment, you're more than welcome to come and ask me or Emily. We'd be happy to help. Go for it.
Do you charge on an hourly rate?
Different VAs do it differently. So some VAs charge hourly, some have a package rate, some do retainers. So you work it out amongst the VA that you want to work with.
Are you the gatekeeper for the skills that are behind all of the services?
What do you mean?
So if I wanted graphic design and a little bit of bookkeeper, I could come to you and you would give me price for each. But it wouldn't be you, it'd be a VA that you're a gatekeeper for.
It depends. So some VAs have a team underneath them, so they're more like project managers, and then yes, we would be the gatekeeper. And some people actually specifically go to a bookkeeping VA or a graphic designer VA, and then they deal with them directly. So there are some virtual assistants in Australia that only specialise in their niche, and that's it. If you contact them and say, I'm looking for bookkeeping, and they don't do it, they'll refer you, because we have such a tight network, we know a bookkeeper who we can refer to you, and we'll refer you to someone that we know. But there are some VAs who are more project managers, so they've got their team of people who have all their specialties, and then so you're only dealing with one person rather than having to deal with so many people. Yeah.
What sort of things, sometimes when a business is brand new, they kind of don't know what to outsource. Do VAs do like an analysis of what they can help, give you ideas?
Yeah, good VA will. So what I usually do is I'll, if the client is local, I actually visit them locally. I'll sit down in their office with them, and if they're not, then Skype's perfectly fine. And I'll say, just tell me what you do. Tell me about your day. And the biggest question I always ask is, where do you waste your most time? Where do you waste your time, and what do you hate doing the most? Like, what is your most hated job, Natasha? What do you hate the most? You do it because I know what you like, and you just do it. But if
cleaning out the emails, which Stuart never does.
So when clients talk to me, and they say, "Oh, it's doing my head in with all these LinkedIn invites I'm getting," and I'm like, "Okay, well, already my head's going bing, bing, bing. These are the jobs I can take off their plate." An experienced VA who's been doing it for so long will be able to just start to give you ideas without even knowing your business. So, for example, recently I had a real estate agent contact me. I'm not from the real estate industry, but I had coffee with him, and he said to me, "I don't even know what you can help me with." And I said, "Well, look, off the top of my head, without really knowing, I'm guessing we can load all your properties up on the domain. We can manage all your appointments. We can send your newsletter out for you. We can send flowers and welcome cards or whatever you want to send out to your people who have bought new houses." Just logically, what I'm thinking, and he's like, "Oh yeah. I don't even send flowers out to anyone." And it was just me just constantly having that conversation with him that we identified where his needs were. Because he was so busy chasing his tail trying to make sales that he wasn't even servicing his clients how he should have been servicing them. So a good VA will be able to definitely identify where your gaps are. And if I have spending a week with a client and I realise, oh, this is done so badly, I will voice it and I'll say, I can do this better for you, or you can do this better, just do it this way. And we'll always help you try and be more efficient yourselves.
This is not about being like VAs, but I actually see, I have an example of it being really successful, because I used to work up the road at Barry Plant,
Oh yeah.
and it's one of the busiest Barry
Oh, the huge one, yes, on the corner, yes.
Yeah, so on Blackburn Road, and I used to be the personal assistant for one of the agents there, and he was one of the only ones who had an assistant. All the other guys pretty much did everything themselves, so I did pretty much ran his life, and all he did was those things that you mentioned at the start. So he went out and did the sales.
Exactly.
I handed everything to him.
And how successful was he and less stressed?
He was #1 in Victoria for that year, and no one was even close. Because all he did was actually go out and get the sales, and I just ran his life like on the side. He didn't have to worry about anything.
There you go.
What do you say to brand new business owners who don't have high cash flow when it comes to outsourcing? Obviously, yes, you focus on sales and all that kind of stuff, but they don't even have enough money to get their business started. When is someone ready to outsource?
I guess everyone's different, and it depends on what you see as valuable in your business and what you know is worth you doing or what's not worth you doing. I think most people will start to seek VA when they're starting to feel overwhelmed with admin. And at the beginning, I'm sure there are lots of people who will do it themselves, and that's okay. I'm not against anyone doing that. Like, as much as you can save at the beginning, go for it. That's totally cool. But when you're coming to the point where you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed because there's too much, and you can't even take on new clients because you're busy doing admin, that's a big issue. If you can't even grow because you're stuck and you're just plateauing and you're just stuck because you can't grow, you need to seek support. Regardless of what the sport, depending on what your business is, you'll need obviously some kind of help. Because you don't have to do it alone. No one has to build this $1 million empire by themselves. People who are millionaires don't do everything themselves. Trust me.
I think when you're starting out, you get a level of comfort from being able to do admin tasks and tick them off.
Yeah, because you feel like you're achieving something.
But that becomes a distraction from your core business, what you should be focusing on.
Exactly. And if you're, doing the admin because you're scared of doing the sale, then you need to go to someone who can help you with the sales. If that's what you're using as a distraction to not grow your business, then fair enough. But I think the only downfall I can see is people who do their admin for too long. Like, you're doing your own admin for 3 years, it's really hard to let go. It's really hard to let someone else do it for you because that's your baby, that's your business, and I totally get that. And you want to make sure you're hiring someone who's not going to stuff things up and be rude to your customers, and it can be very hard to let go. So someone in this room is going to come across that feeling of, I don't really want to give them my login for my account, whatever the account's going to be. And my advice to you is get over it. Sorry, I'm a bit of it's a down path. But when you talk to a VA that's really good, you'll feel confident, and they'll make you feel confident and trust. They'll reassure you exactly. They'll keep you up to date weekly with reports. You work out amongst yourselves what do you need to make it work, and they'll give you a price for it. So, thank you.